and welcome to What Makes This Bike Great. And today we're talking about the Honda CBX1000, this beast. Now, I started riding in 1986 when I was 16 on a moped, and this was out before my time, before I'd even really noticed bikes. But what I did know growing up, that a big bad superbike back in the day looked like this, with 6 cylinders poking out the engine, and it's something that I guess a lot of people that didn't know about bikes would kind of know anyway. So to help me find out a little bit more about this bike, I'd like to introduce you Brendan Flanagan.
Yeah, hi.
This is your bike.
Yes.
And well, you're going to tell me a little bit about it, fill in my gaps in my knowledge. First of all, what is it? It's a CBX1000.
CBX1000.
79.
Yep, 1979. They're twin shock, as they're known as. CBX1000 Z and A were known as the twin shock.
Yeah.
So that was 78, 79. And then 80, 81, they went to a monoshock with a kind of a big full fare and panniers and stuff. I think it was down to the fact that the sales weren't great, so they tried to change it.
Yeah.
So they went
This
to that.
is the original.
These are the original, as I say, the twin shock.
Original.
Yeah,
That just
yeah.
looks like a massive engine on 2 wheels.
Yeah, an engine and a tank is pretty much describes the whole
And that's
bike.
about it.
Yeah.
So what made you want to buy this bike? You had it a couple of years, you're saying?
I've only had this one a couple of years. I have another one that's been heavily modified at the moment.
Yeah.
But I've had this one that I bought because it came standard and it was in the black, which is a rare thing here.
Yeah.
So
So this is from America, isn't it?
this is an American bike, the black one. Yeah, it came in from California. It was standard except for copy 6x2 Delcovic exhausts.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's perfectly standard. I put the crash bars on. I changed it to 6x1.
Yeah.
Just to kind of do some kind of period changes to it, like would have been done in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've put a set of YSS shocks on the back.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, the crash bar is a 6x1. I have a JMC swing arm, brace swing arm that was made for it back in the day.
Right.
That will take its own wheel.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that under it. But nothing that will, you'd have to look for little subtle
exactly.
things, but I want to leave it pretty much standard, like.
It's a beast of a bike, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
beautiful
huge.
thing, beautiful
What's
thing.
it weigh, about 200?
270, 200, something like that, give or take who you go with, but about 270
Yeah.
kilos.
Do you really feel the weight of the engine when you're riding it?
No, that's
Really?
just the thing, you don't. Wheeling it around the place, you need to be a bit on the careful
Yeah.
side, but once it's going, it's a beautiful thing to ride, like. Very deceiving, actually, about how nice it is on the road.
It doesn't look it, it looks like...
It looks a beast, heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Probably nowadays tyres,
Yeah.
they're the radial tyres now and there, whatever. Like, so they're obviously better than what you had back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
You've better brake pads, I think, as well. The brakes, like, it's only single piston caliper,
yeah.
like, but they work
I don't
enough.
want them to work too well because these forks...
The forks are fold under you, like, yeah.
pipe cleaners, aren't they?
Yeah. The ProLink had their 35mm. The ProLinks were bigger. I can't remember. I think they're 39.
Right.
Not certain, but they did upgrade that. They had opposing piston calipers on the newer one as well.
Yeah.
These had a little issue with a clutch basket being a bit noisy on takeover, so they changed that on the ProLink.
Yeah.
So now people now are putting ProLink baskets
Oh, okay.
in these just to get over that. I actually have one there as well to do it, but it's not an issue. It's just a bit rattly when it's on takeover,
Yeah,
like, especially if carbs aren't balanced properly. Like.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this looks old now, but back in the day it would have been a superbike, wouldn't it?
yeah. I
This
mean,
would have sort of battled against the Z1, I guess, Kawasaki.
yeah,
This
this is
would
a,
have been after the CB750, maybe.
yeah, exactly that. Like, so I think the next kind of the likes of the GPZs, I'm not certain, but I think it was kind of the GPZ9s and all that that came along around the same time, stopped these selling.
Yeah.
From what I know, like, this was kind of the end of an era of this shape of bike, like.
Yeah.
It was such a pity, like, but also they were hugely expensive at the time, like.
Yeah.
Hugely expensive.
Like double the price of a standard.
Yeah, you meet so many people, like, when you pull up for, anywhere, like, and you're talking, they say, You know, would have loved one in the day but couldn't afford it. And you know, or my brother had one, like, and it was so much money and all this, like, so they were hugely expensive, both for the development, and they didn't last long then on the market. It was only the 4 years, like, but still expensive today, like. But
what can you pick
beautiful
one of these up for? I mean, this is immaculate, isn't it?
You're kind of looking anything like from 13,000, then it goes ridiculous.
Really?
It goes up, yeah. Like that, I paid 13,250 for that. It was the right money for it, you know, for what it was. It's still worth that today, but you see them on there. I look at them a lot, obviously, like, and you see them on there for 18, 20, 25 grand, but you're talking low mileage Minter things.
It's
like,
a proper
you know.
slice of history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are there many left, you know?
There seems to be, like, I mean,
They were never limited runs.
there's always kind of 6, 8, 10 of them maybe on eBay, like, for sale, you know. But they seem to still sell no matter what way the thing is, like, they seem to go and keep the same money, like. So, but as I say, I've no intention of selling it. It's something I've wanted for years and years, like.
And are there any particular issues living with a bike with 6 cylinders? It's quite an unusual. I mean, how many bikes got 6 cylinders? Benelli?
Here's the Benelli C, this thing. What else was there? There's a couple of, there's a couple of GL Honda Goldwings, or the flat 6s, but not many. But not really. I mean, Is
it particularly juicy or unreliable? Or?
It's not reliability, not an issue at all. Like, you know, not at all. Like, it starts every time you go to it. It'll start. I really can't say. It's a small bit heavy on the petrol, like, but it depends on how you ride it as well. Exactly. Like, you know, you're kind of constantly, because of the noise it makes, kind of winding it on up through the gears a bit. Like, it's at 70, 80 miles, 70 kind of mile an hour. It's a happy thing. You're just sitting there, you can listen to it, you see what's going on around the place. It's a lovely thing to ride at that stage. Your brakes are good enough, your handling's good enough at that, but it's getting up to it is lovely, the sound.
Just a feel-good bike.
Yeah, it's just a lovely, as I say, that 6-cylinder engine, you can tell it from anywhere, like, you know, if you know them at all, like. So.
What an absolute work of art, and very analogue by today's standards. Speedo cable, analogue.
Speedo cable, rev counter.
I mean, back then that must have seemed pretty futuristic, this dash.
Yeah, you had the voltmeter and you have all your idiot lights, as they say. But I mean, it's the same clocks there on the CB900 F2s, like. Right. So they went with them, like, kind of thing. But I think they're lovely clocks for the thing. They work nicely.
How many miles has this one done?
She's 34, just 34 and a half. Yeah.
Has it had any engine work?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, everything original. Yeah, cam chains are a little bit noisy in it now, but
it's testament to Honda quality, isn't it?
Yeah. As I say, it just runs absolutely lovely. So
did you buy it from America, or was it
from
the UK?
I bought this from a guy in Wales. He brought it in, had it for a while, found it kind of heavy to wheel in and out of a shed and get it up and down, like, so. He advertised it, like, lovely fella. He had it mint, absolutely mint.
Was it restored, or had he just looked after it?
The tank has been sprayed, but very well done. Like, it's been properly been resprayed, like, and the seat unit, like. The rest of it hasn't. The forks, even the fork tubes and that, are original. Wow. Other than that, it's just been minded. It's got, you know, you look close up and you know it is what it is, like, you know.
It's a 1979 motorcycle.
Yeah, and it's been ridden. I mean, I bought it to use it. It's not ever going to be just left in, you know, it'll be a time when I can't ride it, I suppose, but for now, it's every chance you get, kind of thing, you know, so.
Look at that seat. You don't get seats like that anymore.
I know,
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, and you'll hold on for dear life.
Exactly.
So, no, a lovely, honest thing. A lovely, honest thing, yeah.
Well, the title of these videos are "What Makes This Bike Great." So to you, what makes the CBX1000 great?
Well, I mean, obviously it's the engine, but it's the sound of that engine. It's just incredible. Just even on tick over, you've got this kind of a drone at 2,000-3,000 revs. You've got this drone, lovely even drone going on. You ride it out the road, but as soon as you hit 7,000 revs, it just turns into a Formula One car sound. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just an incredible sound. It's like you hit a switch.
Yeah.
It just changes, especially with that 6-into-1. But you do hear it even with the standard exhaust.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
Fantastic.
just, it has to be, I suppose, the sound. Like, love the shape of the tank and the engine. The tank, I think, it's big,
Yeah.
but it lets the engine stick out enough
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it shows it off. But but I
Amazing.
think for me, it's the sound.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the handling.
No.
So,
And it's iconic, isn't it? It's probably a bike that most people remember when they were growing up, whether they like bikes or not.
or not. Everyone has that,
Yeah.
as I say, that you meet. My brother had one, or I would have loved to have had one, or a neighbour of mine had
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And these, a lot of the time, don't even look like they ever had bikes themselves, but they kind of seem to know this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the
Very
six-cylinder engine. It's a motorbike thing. It's odd, isn't it?
Even
So-
when you used to get motorbike toys, you used to get these, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what kids used to grow up
Yeah.
with as well. But
I've got a few models of the mini shamps models of
Yeah.
them, like just to detail things. They're that size. I didn't even know they made a black one. I've been looking for years. I've bought a few of them in the red and silver, and a couple of months back a black one came up, so I had to buy that. So I've got a little picture then of it sitting there, like, and
Brilliant.
it's just a beautiful little model, like. So
Fantastic.
yeah, lovely. So,
Well, any chance of a go?
yeah, absolutely,
Brilliant.
all yours.
Okay.
Oh,
Brilliant. Well,
yours.
thanks very much for
Yeah,
for
lovely.
your bike. Thanks for letting us have a
Welcome.
little ride. We're getting the riding kit on now and see what 6 cylinders is like.
Lovely.
Well, I always wonder what Honda CBX1000 would be like to ride, and let me tell you, it is nothing like I imagined. So this is a bike that is all engine, isn't it? It's all engine and a little spindly chassis, little spindly forks, and you kind of think to yourself, well, this bike's just going to tie itself in half when you get on the throttle. It's going to have a hinge in the middle. It's going to feel really antiquated, but it's really good. It's really, really good. For a bike that's made in 1979, God, it's a testament to how good old school Hondas are and how they've got that reputation as being these kind of robust, bulletproof, smooth running, beautifully built machines. I'm really impressed. Obviously, the dominant feature of the CBX is the engine. And once you're moving, it doesn't feel like you've got this huge motor sticking out the side of the bikes. The actual bike itself feels quite slim. The riding position, your knees are relatively close together, and you can't actually see the engine sticking out because your sort of knees are blocking the view of it. So it feels like quite a normal bike. And then the character of it is very, very smooth. Obviously, the more cylinders you've got in your engine, the smoother it's going to be. And it reminds me, my only point of reference for bikes like this really is 6-cylinders BMW K1600s. And it kind of has got that similar character, or even like a straight 6 BMW 3 Series or something like that. It's got that kind of effortless power station, like just surge when you open the throttle at low revs. And then like Brendan says, when you get high up in the revs, when you get kind of past 7,000, that kind of creamy power delivery changes into a rasp, which Brendan says sounds like a Formula One engine. I think that's true. It's also got a little bit of two-stroke about it, the way it kind of builds, and even a little bit of Norton rotary race bike engine to it. I rode a few of the Norton race bikes at Rockingham some time ago, and it's got that same kind of rasp, that same kind of urgency towards a red line. That engine is incredible. It is amazing. And then the rest of the chassis is fantastic too. Okay, yeah, it's not going to handle like a modern bike. You can't grab it by the scruff of the neck, but it's quite stable. The suspension is nice and plush. It feels quite balanced. The riding position is comfortable. The brakes do the job. You know, you're not going to be pulling massive endos on this bike. And the whole thing is just a pleasure to ride. It just makes you smile like few modern bikes do, because modern bikes manufacturers are chasing power. They're chasing more technology. They're cutting costs where they need to. So yeah, modern day bikes are brilliant, but I mean, there's nothing like a proper old classic And you know, the reason that, you know, bikes are so good today, because they started off as these CBX1000s, and you know, that's where the passion came from people who love motorbikes. They see bikes like that when they're a kid, they want to grow up to own one. Motorcycle engineers now would have been inspired by bikes like that in the past. It's just an absolutely superb bike, and I've had a thoroughly great day riding it, just out in the countryside, not trying to go fast, just enjoying the bike, just rolling with it, listening to that soundtrack. It is just beautiful. So, you know, it was never one of these bikes that I'd always wanted to ride, consciously anyway, but I guess subconsciously, because, you know, that bike's always been there in my memory, whether it was a little toy motorbike when I was growing up, when I didn't really have that much interest in bikes, to kind of building up through my road testing career and becoming more aware of classic bikes and bikes like this. I think I have ticked a box really in kind of, you know, meeting my hero in a way. And it turns out my hero is brilliant company. And that for me is what makes this bike great. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more like this coming very soon.
So, no, I think I've said an awful lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.